Hey, I'm Eric, and in today's video, we're talking about how to start an LLC in Arizona. Now, if you're watching this video, you're in the right place. And if you're thinking about an LLC, you're in good company because 80% of all new business formations are LLC in the United States. Now, in this video, what we're going to be talking about are 3 methods that you can start up an LLC. You can go directly through your state website. You can also use free online tools. And there's also the ability to hire an attorney to set up the LLC for you, which is going to be more expensive. But later in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can get a free consultation with an attorney too if you're looking to do that. So there are 2 really important topics that you'll want to stay in this video because we're going to discuss a term called piercing the corporate veil and also registered agents. If you're not familiar with those 2 things, they're going to be really important that you stay and watch this video because I'm going to explain that to make sure that your LLC is solid and going to protect you like it should. So why don't we get started with the state website here. And what you're going to be looking at in Arizona is azcc.gov. So that's your state website. And this particular link right here is very helpful. So it's the 10 steps to starting a business in Arizona, such as choosing your name, seeing if that name is actually available in your state. And I'm going to walk you through some of these steps and explain this to you. And this is a good time to mention that any link or resource mentioned in this video will be in the description of this video. So you'll be able to find this link if you're looking for these 10 steps, and every single link and resource mentioned will be in the description below. So let's go through a hypothetical. What I did is I went to Phoenix, Arizona and searched for restaurants. The first one that popped up is Loco Style Grinds. So if for whatever reason this was the name that you were thinking of for your business and you're trying to get an LLC in Arizona, what you'd want to do is actually see if it's available. So what you can do is you can go to this specific page right here. Again, this link will be in the description, and then you can search for this name. So I'm going to copy this name. And then what you do is you can click this search box here on the left-hand side. And what I would recommend is doing contains, and then I'm putting in the name and I'm going to do a search. So what you'll see is as this kind of searches the repository of different names that have set up LLCs, that this particular one has actually been set up. It's a domestic LLC, and it looks like this particular one is already taken. So if there is no search results showing for the name that you're looking for, that is a good sign because it's actually available. Now what you'd want to do is once you actually have the name of your business that you're looking for and you want to get set up and you're confident you want to go with an LLC, you'd click this green register button and it's going to take you through the state website, and you're going to be able to set up your LLC through the state website. And this is definitely one way you can go. But one of the things that I do find frustrating about any of the state websites is they may give you the steps here and they go, yeah, here's all the things you need to consider and look at. But when you're looking at it, it's kind of overwhelming. You're like, you kind of want your hand held a little bit more. So one of the other methods or routes that you can go for setting up an LLC is using a free online tool. Now, the word free is a little bit misleading because these tools are created to generate a profit. Some of them, if you might be familiar with like LegalZoom, in this particular case, what they do is $79 plus your filing fee. So every state has a state filing fee. You're not going to get around that. If you go through your state website, a tool like LegalZoom, or go through an attorney, you're going to have to pay that filing fee. In your particular case in Arizona, this Service Inc. file I find pretty helpful. They have state filing prices, and you go down and you'll see that you're going to pay $85 to set up an LLC. So even if an attorney doesn't say that that's part of their fee, it's kind of baked into their cost. So it's going to be $85 for that filing fee. But as I mentioned with LegalZoom, they're going to throw another $79 on top of it. I do like this Service Inc. file because if you go to the homepage here, one of the things that really stand out to you, besides the fact that they've been in business since 2004 and they've incorporated over 250,000 businesses, is that it's $0 to get set up. And I know that's where you're like, all right, what's the catch? So if you're to launch your business with this service here, you choose the entity type LLC. In your case, we're going to go to Arizona, and it's going to give you 3 different packages that you can choose from. In the lowest package here in the silver, there's your $85 state fee, and then it's $0 to get set up. And it includes preparing and filing of the articles of organization, unlimited name searches. So what we did earlier, looking up the name searches on the Arizona website here, over here, you can actually do that directly through this service. And then also a free registered agent service for a year. Now, this is a good opportunity to start talking about ways that your LLC can be found incompetent, or cracks are in your LLC, or the legal jargon would be piercing the corporate veil. So why don't we talk about what an LLC actually does for your business, so then we can talk about how if you set up your LLC incorrectly, that it may not actually do what it's supposed to do in limiting your liability. So some people think that there's like a tax advantage for setting up an LLC. That is not the case. Simply put, an LLC limits your liability. But when you're setting up your LLC, you want to make sure that your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed so that there are no cracks in the foundation of it. So what an LLC does is it creates a division between your personal and your business assets. So in the unfortunate case, if you're sued, the attorney, the lawyer that's coming after your company isn't going to be able to come after your personal assets as well. That LLC creates that division between them. So what that attorney is going to try to do is pierce the corporate veil. And what they're doing is they're looking for issues with your LLC. So the reason I had this highlighted on screen here for the registered agent service is one of the issues I find with the state website is they don't really give a lot of attention to these issues. They don't really mention a registered agent service. They just say, who's your registered agent? Then what happens is somebody says, you know what, it's my buddy Jim because I'm trying to save some money and Jim's gonna make sure he forwards my documents to me and make sure I'm taken care of, so I'll put his information in. So again, going back to this learning center and we click on about registered agents here and we scroll down, you'll see that what a registered agent does is they have official letters and correspondence from your Secretary of State. They also have service of process notices. So basically if you're sued, they make sure that you're getting that documentation and you show up in court. There's also official federal government correspondence information and notifications, tax forms and requests for payment, and requests to complete permits, company filings, or reports. So this is really important too. If you don't renew with your state, and every state is a little bit different. Some states it's every year, other states it's every couple of years, but you want to actually renew with your state and you don't do that and go through that process, when that attorney is trying to find cracks in your LLC, they're going to say, you know what, they never actually renewed with the state. Or perhaps that registered agent that you had that was your friend Jim never actually gave you the process notice that you're being sued and you're not showing up in court when you're supposed to. So a registered agent is very important as they act as a third party that helps to take in important information and forward that information to you. So what I want to talk about next is as you're going through this process, there are the opportunities to kind of be upsold into the gold and platinum. So why don't we talk about that a little bit? As far as the EIN business tax number, when I set up for my LLC, this was a pain in the butt, but I did do it myself. I'll have this link in the description below, as we mentioned earlier. This is for the IRS website. It'll allow you to kind of look through and see if you need an EIN, and then you can apply for an EIN here. So now why don't we go back? So now the other thing that they talk about is a business banking account. What I have found with this service is they do offer that in the silver package. They just kind of market it as being in the gold package. But this is also very important. If you don't have a separate business bank account, what they call it is commingling funds. So you have your personal bank account that you're doing all your personal things in, but then you have business income going to that account, and then you're also paying expenses out of that account. So that attorney is going to say this is not a legit LLC. He's going to pierce the corporate veil, and he's going to say that he's commingling or she's commingling funds, and then they're going to try to go after your personal assets. So that's why it's so important to get set up the right way and in a structured manner using a service such as InkFile. And as I mentioned, I like this service because it's $0 out of the gates here. If you want to do the EIN business tax number and these things yourself, you can do that, but you also have the free registered agent service for a year. Now, it's important to highlight the for a year part because this is going to be $0 out of the gates. But if we go back to the registered agent page here on InkFile and we scroll down a bit, what you'll see here is that on this part of the registered agent service, it says it's even free for the first year when you incorporate with InkFile and just $119 annually after that. So they do make $119 a year after that, but in my opinion, it's well worth that fee because you're not going to be relying on your friend or a sister or somebody like that to be your registered agent and then have cracks in your LLC. You're going to have a professional service providing that registered agent service for you. So that's how they get you is in year 2, year 3, it might be $119 for that registered agent service. You're not locked into it, but in my opinion, it's well worth that money to make sure that you have a legit LLC and you're doing everything that you need to do on your end. So from here, if you wanted to go with the silver package, you go click to get the silver package. You can see you're 25% the way there. Important information here that this is a tax savings benefit because it's fully deductible. And they're going to walk you through a very clean, easy process of setting up your LLC through this site. Now, if you have a complicated situation, perhaps you have a business that's doing sales outside of the state, or you have a lot of revenue coming in already, and you're kind of behind the ball and you want to get an LLC set up and you have concerns, what I'd recommend is hiring an attorney to go this route. Now, one service that I particularly like is called Avvo. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. The link that I have for InkFile in the description below is an affiliate link, so I'll make a commission if you use my link, which helps support my channel. I really appreciate that when you use my link, but in this particular service, I have no link, no affiliate link or anything, but I just like the service itself. So what you'll see here is that we already have it pulled up for limited liability company lawyers in Arizona, but there's 55 results, which can be a little overwhelming if you're trying to pick an attorney to work with. The thing I really like about this service is that there are attorneys that offer a free consultation. And the way you do that is on the left-hand side here, when I click free consultation, what you'll see is we just went down to 18 results. And now what you can do is you can filter the results further, and perhaps I want to do only ones with an Avvo rating of 9 and up, and now you have 3 results. So this is a pretty cool tool for just being able to filter down to an attorney that has verified reviews but also offers a free consultation. If you do go this route though, typically you can be looking anywhere from $800 to $3,000 and up to set up an LLC with an attorney. You know, obviously they got probably $250,000 in student loan bills that they got to pay off, so it's going to cost you money to go through that attorney. That's where it's nice using a tool like InkFile, is because they're using modern technologies to have your price lowered, but at the same time kind of holding your hand throughout the process. But again, if you do need an attorney, you have a complex business situation, I'd highly recommend going through a service like Avvo to find a good attorney to get linked up with. I am not an attorney. I am just somebody who has researched this to death as I've set up my own business, and I want to give you all the tools and resources available to you when you're setting up your business. So the last thing I want to talk about is if you are already making income in your business, perhaps over $40,000 a year, there may be the opportunity to set up as an S-Corp instead of an LLC to save on taxes. So if you click on the video on the screen, it's an InkFile review which goes into further detail, and at about the 2 minute 15 mark of that video, I talk about an S-Corp tax calculator on their site and how you might be able to see if you can save on taxes. And again guys, thank you for watching this video, and I encourage you to use the links in the description below, and I appreciate if you do use my InkFile link because it helps support my channel. All right guys, I'll catch you in the next video.